Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of the Seercast. Today I am joined with Siroki.
I'll
Fangride.
Woo.
Kitten.
Please kill my graphics with fire.
Geena.
Am I following Big High Birdie God or what?
What?
I coined that.
You what?
Lime.
We wish you a Merry Limemas and a happy
Nope.
No.
Die.
No.
And Walter is in the chat.
And
Walter says he whispers creepily.
Yes.
More of that to come. But yeah, today we're going to be today we're going to be more talking about the last couple updates, the Harbingers of Tuska and the World event. But before we do anything, we do have to mention that Mod Jack
is pregnant.
God damn it, Lime.
Can we not bring up that discussion from earlier?
Let's not. Okay, Mod Jack is about to go on paternity leave. And we all of us at the Seercast would like to congratulate Mod Jack on a new addition to his family. We hope
That's on the side.
Alright, I hit my mic.
well done. We hope that your daughter is doing well, and we look forward to seeing you when you get back. Also, beware of Zolies.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Duck.
Yeah, but yeah. So we have a couple updates since the last time we were here. The Harbingers of Tuska, and the Harbingers of Tuska is the first one since I apparently can't talk today. It is a level 92 Slayer creature, and
I've died to it.
Huh?
I've died to it.
And Lime has died to it. 2 minutes.
2 minutes in, put the picture.
Yep, that's what's going up. It is a level 92 Slayer critter, and it has caused all sorts of rage, maybe?
Economic backlash?
It has not been taken too kindly. First of all, its rare is going to be, or is the gauntlets, the Razorback gauntlets, which is the melee level 90 power gloves, and they're kind of crap.
They were at 35 mil. Now they're at 2 mil.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're at like 2 mil. They're completely useless because their bonuses are just so tiny over Thorlah, and they degrade dust.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how much are Thorlah gloves?
A lot more. Probably 10 mil, 8 mil, something like that.
Oh, that's still actually not that much more.
Keep in mind though, the Thorlah gloves are the second highest tier power gloves we have.
Yep.
But we still have the automaton gloves, which are level 85 tank.
Yeah, that's true. How do the level 90? How do Thorlah compare to the automaton gloves?
Thorlah is like bad, to say the least. Like in terms of defensive stats, the automaton gloves are considerably stronger, probably by rapidly pulls it up.
Yeah.
So it's like a almost negligible attack gain for a ton of defense.
It's a plus 1 point attack gain between Thorlah and Razorback.
Ouch.
And Razorback is so stupidly common that capitalism has torn its price down.
Well,
to the
yeah,
ground.
supply and demand.
Yeah, the damage bonus on Thorlah gloves is 7. The damage bonus on Razorback is 8.
Ouch.
It's because
meanwhile, automaton gloves, defensive-wise, Thorlah gloves are 84 armor, while static gloves and all the others are 108, with a plus 255 over Thorlah's 210.
Yeah.
Well, Razorback gloves are...
Yeah, apparently there's this mindset that Jagex does not want to make old items, old drops completely useless.
Yes, actually.
And that's really stupid when it comes to the fact that we need to keep the game moving forward.
Yeah,
so we can't have stuff like spirit shields being better than level 90 shields.
Yeah.
That was actually something that really bugged me when talking about rebalancing the new shields. They were like, well, we have to be careful not to devalue Spirit shields. I'm like, look guys, those are level 75 shields.
If they're, like, go in and rebalance them by making them higher level if you're gonna do that. But yeah, we have already had this rant. And
Razorback gauntlets are 96 armor rating compared to automaton gloves at 108 armor rating. So in terms of defensive stats,
I mean, it's respectable, but...
It's respectable, but, I mean, if you're going for price, buy Razorbacks. Automaton gloves are still in the 20s.
Yeah.
20 mils.
Until they give us ports gloves. Because ports...
And that's supposed to come in January.
Yeah, it is.
There.
It is.
Take me back, take me
No,
back.
no,
take
no,
me back.
no.
And we're done.
Bananas.
Rotates me.
But yeah, apparently not only are the gloves kind of, bad, I mean, I guess it's still a rare drop that is worth something, and that's more than can be said for a lot of the Slayer critters. But, like anything dropping dragon, anything. But they're also difficult to kill. They have a lot of defense, and it's just...
Fire special is really annoying.
Yeah.
Basically,
Also,
the way they work is as you deal damage to them, their defense increases. So they get steadily quicker and harder to kill.
Also,
You really need Drygors for it.
Which is ridiculous for the low Slayer level on them.
Well, I wouldn't call 92 low.
Yeah, but compared to Ganos, which give you level 75 mage gear, they're 95 Slayer, so it's a little unbalanced.
And that's almost like... that's kind of suggesting, though, that Ganodermic beasts they aren't exactly balanced properly with the way that they want to have the drops. As it doesn't really make sense that a level 95 Slayer critter drops level 75 gear.
Especially at this point. I mean,
Yeah.
Gano was a lot better before EOC as well. And I think they just haven't taken the time to rebalance.
Yeah,
all that
they
stuff.
may eventually change that. That's something.
Yep.
Might be something that we should suggest, like, yo guys.
That is actually something I've been working on for a while. It's just kind of trying to catalog and chronologue what needs to be changed.
Yeah. Go bother Timbo with
Obviously,
it.
it's not good. I shall.
Also,
In before
Maybe
Twitter.
it'll hire me. I need money. Hire me, Jackals.
What were you saying, Lime?
if you accidentally hit another one of the air high route while you're killing one of them,
Like with
then
Flurry?
You're yeah, you should just teleport out. Just quit because you're done.
Yeah, the thing about their spec is that it can only be stopped with either Rapid Fire or Flurry, and Flurry is AoE.
So do not kill a root with melee in the Caridel Dungeon, because you will hit several
This
A
is
root.
it's actually really weird hearing you guys talk about it like this, because when on the first day of release, and they might have changed it since then, but I killed off a whole bunch of them with wearing Torva and using dual wielding chaotic claws. So, you guys saying that you need tier 90 gear and all that, and
they
saying
did
that
buff
the
them a
special.
little bit in terms of their defense.
Oh, they buffed them.
Okay.
It was very slight. It didn't change a lot, but it did change a little bit, and it was kind of weird. They basically are they're not defensive enough against your very good gear already, so let's do more.
Let's buff them more.
Yeah, and continue to make sure that their drops are god awful.
Yeah. Well, maybe they'll eventually take another look at that. It's
I
just,
hope so.
it's just so hard. The thing is, there's only so many slot pieces. There's only so many slots, and there's only so many things. And I know that we had this rant last week, or 2 weeks ago, or whatever it was, but it's worth noting, it's just so difficult to introduce new content that doesn't devalue old content, but also is value. It's just well, how do you do that? And so yeah.
See, I think the problem is Jagex is forgetting that they still have tiers that they need to fill for mid-level and high level players that aren't maxed.
I feel
because 90 gear and weapons are so unobtainable, and they have these weird 75, 85 tiers that half the armor sets don't have.
Yeah.
That really need to be filled, and they just haven't done so.
Yeah, it's strange. They have the
other
85 pretty full at this point.
Yeah.
They don't have 85.
Well, see,
Do they have 85
what I would
boots?
like is, as soon as you hit level 70, then every 5 you get a new tier of both power, tank, and hybrid armor.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Because right now we have level 80 power armor, and then level 85 tank armor. So that means when you hit level 80, either you upgrade to that level 80, or you suffer through 5 levels until you can get to a tank.
And level 80 power is super expensive because it's the next set.
And next, they keep buffing next, which is a little ridiculous because of how unuseful Torva is in terms of what we have available to us now. The thing that's been bugging me a lot recently is balancing monster drops from Jagex. Chaos Giants.
Yeah, those
Just
things.
depressing. Like, they were great as long as they were possible for a Fire Giant task. They were Fire Giants with better XP that had some okay drops. Now there is no reason to go to Chaos Giants.
Oh yeah, maybe they'll go back and look at that. I think that's something that they acknowledge and that they realize it has to. That's just kind of stupid. But we're gonna move along a little bit. I hate to cut you off, but we do need to move forward.
I can rant about this for hours.
I probably could too, and apparently a wild Thorlah appears.
Yeah. He just said in-game these.
Okay.
On another note,
He says hello.
I just hit the Citadel and my Armadil, contribution rank updated.
Nice.
I jumped from 18,000 to 82.
Well, there you go.
I totally need alchemist. Oh god.
I'm nowhere near that rank. Come on.
I haven't even maxed every day. I've come close, but I haven't maxed. But we'll talk more about the world event in just a little bit. There was a bit of lore that was revealed, dropped, whatever.
There was what were they? The Irute wall paintings of Tuska killing people and worlds.
I should
And
really
also
look at that because I have yet to actually go to a room.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Like, I've not fought them, I've not even approached them, I don't know what they look like.
I walked up to them once because my Slayer level is never going to be anywhere near 92, so...
Yeah.
93, so I could actually attack them.
We all know what happened when Lime went and tried to attack them.
Yeah, and they know now too because we put it up on the streets.
I'm saying you all as in like both all of the people in here and everybody watching.
Let it be known that my Slayer level is nowhere near 92, and I had no hope against those monsters anyways.
Well, deal damage, because Lime does not deal damage, he simply stands there and waits to perish.
Need more kegs. Just more kegs.
Yep.
But yeah, so the lore dropped. There were the wall paintings, and then there's also Kaigi's journal. Is that how you pronounce it, Kaigi?
Yeah, that's how I've been calling it, Kaigi's. Kaigi.
And that's
adorable.
Yeah.
I've always pronounced it Keiji, but
I'm pretty sure that's wrong.
That's a little too Fight Club for me.
Considering it's Naragi, I would think it's Kaigi.
Naragi.
But yeah, the
Dem my Naragis.
But the journal is written from the perspective of Naragi years after Saradomin destroyed their capital.
It's called Ascroft.
The writer, which is Ascroft. The writer is confirmed to be female, so that's something worth noting. Apparently.
Yeah, well, it was a thing that, it's been a pattern so far that male Naragi have names that end in X, and then female Naragi tend to have names that end in, AGI. I guess that's a thing, I don't know.
Maybe?
That's a good point, actually, that's a really good point.
I haven't noticed. How many male Naragi do we know of?
You could make the point
that we have Nerix and Guthix. So, I mean, we have a pattern.
Perhaps.
You could make the point that the Naragi are a matriarchal race because they end in Aki.
Perhaps.
But that is completely unfounded and...
Well, could be correct.
It's Naragi, and all of the females end in IGI, Iggy.
Or just GI, I guess.
It's just GI.
Yeah, it's just GI.
I mean, it's IX for the males and GI for the females, if that's true. And, I mean, you look at the race, it is Naragi. It could be. could be actually have a valid point. Oh my God, Lime said something useful. I mean, what?
Yay!
One in a row. It's a new record.
It's true. Anyways, the main point of the journal was that the Naragi split up into two groups. One led by Nerix, who went all godless and tried to fight back against Saradomin, which was probably an ill-conceived idea that would totally end in complete failure and annihilation. And there was Nakiji, or Nakigi. I like Nakiji better. And
Oh my gosh. The A-root are like small.
Okay, anyways, go on. Go.
Nakiji felt that both sides were to blame and that a compromise could be reached with Saradomin, and that is probably an equally ill-conceived idea, and they would have probably been destroyed too.
Basically, long story short, they were screwed.
Yeah.
We knew that already.
And we did know that already. It was like the least, they were in the worst position you could ever put yourself in. And it's just like, and since we don't know why Saradomin showed up on that world, we don't know what kind of part they had in that, but like, it's just, at the point of Kaigi's journal and then later Guthix's story, it's just like,
they were done.
They were absolutely done.
After Saradomin killed a bunch of them, it was kind of like, well, we're screwed. What can we do to fight back at least a little bit and cause some damage?
They were extinct the moment that Saradomin set foot on their world.
I very much agree with that.
Maybe. But
the fact that Guthix did succeed in, killing Skargaroth was certainly a large step, but unfortunately he wasn't able to save his race.
It actually begs the question for me right now is, what brought Saradomin to their world to begin with?
Yeah.
Was there an Elder Artifact, or was he going on recruitment drive?
Oh, it sounds like, well, we know that Guthix...
Walter has the answer.
Yeah, we know that Guthix
Walter knows this.
killed Skargaroth with the Elder Sword. Or what Lime called the Rift Sword.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah.
I've been calling it this, what was I calling it? I believe I was calling it the Sword of Worlds.
Yeah, I think that's what you were talking about, Sword of Worlds.
Yeah,
So
I kept trying to make that name happen, and it kept not happening.
Was Skargaroth always in possession of it, or did he get it from that world?
My assumption is Guthix actually found the Sword of Worlds, or whatever the hell you're calling it, on the Naragi homeplane. And that could have perhaps been why Skargaroth was there as well.
Yeah, Walter says that it was the sword. It was the Elder Sword, that's what drew him there. And that makes sense.
That's my opinion.
Because
They said that sorry.
Go on.
They said that Skargaroth was there hunting Tuska. So, Tuska was there by accident. Saradomin was there for the sword. Skargaroth was there for Tuska. And where did the sword come from?
And the Naragi were just screwed all over.
The sword was on the homeworld. That's my assumption from all of this.
Yeah, it's pretty much...
Furthermore...
Go on.
Do we know that Saradomin had the Crown Archival before the Naragi homeworld?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's why you would have
come. I had
come.
confirmation of that, because I was kind of like starting to piece together, maybe Skargaroth had the crown, and when he died, Saradomin took it.
No.
Okay.
I think at that point, Saradomin was gone, wasn't he?
Yes, he had left, that's right.
Because...
He showed up, he reared his big ugly blue face, smurfed his way around, and then...
And that's pretty much right. I mean...
I just have this image of a giant smurf with a beard running, yelling, "Ooh, no, 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 no."
Smurfs for the Smurf God.
Oh dear God.
Add 8-bit music to the background.
Oh my God. But yeah,
Exactly.
so we know, and I think after, so Guthix blinded Tuska, and then immediately, immediately killed Skargaroth.
Like, does anybody realize how much of a badass he was?
Yeah.
Like, his entire race is dying, and then he blinds this giant mindless boar of rage, and then kills a giant god. That's, like, pretty awesome.
In like 2 minutes.
He's like, I do not care.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like, I'm done. Just gonna go to your level and just be as ragey as all of you guys.
He's a Guthix badger.
Yeah, he had nothing to live for because his daughter was killed. And that was basically the last of the race, so.
Oh.
And then Lime says, enough of this, I demand balance. Okay. No you.
Oh, I'm not reading that out loud.
Nope. I guess that's why you put it in chat.
This
Anyways,
podcast is rated PG.
Sometimes.
Sure.
Most of the time. We try and keep it that way. Anyways, but yeah, it gives us a little bit more of a detail. The Kaigi's journal gives us a little bit more detail on what Tuska looks like as well. They said they
as well as that mask, which is a pretty cool mask.
Yeah. It says it's a giant the size of a city covered in thick matted hair, leveling a hill with its horns. And it's just like, we don't want to see Tuska here.
No.
I think that is, and all we need to say is that.
Yeah. No.
It sounds like, according to Maud Osborne in the recent FAQ, that she is coming here.
Yeah.
And that means we're screwed.
Yeah,
This
it
means
sounds,
war.
there's a question in the frequently asked questions that was, how are the A-Root able to open a portal, to the Naragi homeworld, and according to the god tier system, only experienced gods and upwards are able to do that. Osborne says that Tuska opens the portal, and
By headbutting reality.
yeah, and I hope you'll be able to find out, that's pretty much it. I hope you'll be able to find more about this in future content, but she is knocking on the door of Gielinor. That knocking opens up small fissures that allows Harbingers through. Then when the portal is wide enough, the beast arrives. The time of Tuska cometh.
It sounds like she's just like beating down the doors of Gielinor.
I have this feeling we're just gonna see her as a cameo in a quest, and then she's just gonna leave. Like, she happens to run through, and then somebody just opens a portal on the other end, and she's gone. That was Tuska, guys. We're in the 7th age now. Let's go.
I had this exact thought.
Hi guys. Bye guys.
Jumps straight through Varrock, destroys the entire place, and goes out of the realm.
Wrong.
No, she has to do it.
It has to be in
Falador, because
Catherby.
They've been talking at Falador Vision rework for ages. And I mean, who doesn't want to do a Falador rebuild with Easter?
Nuke Catherby. It's
Nuke,
decided.
just
Nuke
just
Catherby.
have her
Yes.
just land in Catherby, and then the entire place just gets leveled, and then everybody wins.
If you want
No,
that,
no.
There won't be any more
I
fletching
still want to
capes.
destroy Remington, though.
maybe while she's at it, she can stomp on Brassica.
Yes.
Ah.
And
Just
before
sit on
Brassica
Brassica.
kills Tuska.
She's gonna eat Brassica, actually. She's gonna spot him and just kind of chomp on him.
Ooh,
Yeah, I was
food!
actually
Nom
beginning to
nom
wonder
nom nom
if they were
nom.
going to shrink her or not.
Oh my
That
god.
goes
So you
back
know how
towards-
World Event 3 is supposed to be a massive joke? What if at the end the loser is eaten by Tuska?
What?
Oh
Like,
dear.
you know, the whole thing's this massive joke the entire time, and then at the end, just out of nowhere, Tuska appears and eats the loser.
Or better yet, eats the winner.
Eats
Oh,
the winner,
God.
yeah. Congratulations,
For
Brassica.
maximum
Cabbage
troll.
For the cabbage go, what the hell is that?
No happiness for anyone.
Yeah, really. Oh man.
There would
I've been reading theories about people saying that in World Event 2 the winner is actually gonna die when their thing backfires on them.
Yeah, I've seen people discussing that, and I don't think there's any chance of that happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The chances of that occurring are like
0.01%, yeah.
like, Jagex may, you know, like, there's that off chance that they're like, oh, we're gonna be clever, you know, make all these people support this god, and then at the end, they just die anyway.
There'd be so much rage and
But
backlash at them.
yeah, it would basically be like, if you don't bring my goddamn god back to life, I will come, and I will rip the tank out of the ground in front of Jagex, make it work again, and blow your whole building up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I mean, like, according to the head diviner of Armadillo, according to this push I just sent you guys, I don't think they've fully got a handle on actually what they're doing. So I wouldn't be surprised if,
Well, see, what I
Everything
dislike
is
is
close,
Jagex has been so willing to talk about it outside of the game, and yet they're continuing to try and be really mysterious in game. So you're like, oh, I can't tell you what our plans are with this. You need to be more trusted than that, la-di-da-di-da. And then out of game, they're like, oh yeah, the god's gonna die. Yeah, they're just powering up their weapons. They're gonna blow shit up.
They're preparing their lasers.
Exactly. I'm like, look guys, if you want to keep a secret, don't talk about it out of game when everybody in game is mysterious about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I don't think they ever really mentioned how the weapons were going to work. They just said that there were going to be weapons and one god was going to die. And yeah.
I admit though, I really, really would have loved if they didn't tell us a god was going to die and then just absolutely shocked the crap out of us.
Yeah, I know, right?
I see both sides of that. As much as I would like that to happen.
Remember the craziness at the end of The World Wakes when Guthix gets murdered?
Yeah.
I had to stop and
the thing is, if people know that the losing god is going to die, they are going to react differently to the world event. They are going to participate. They're going to go out of their way to interact more if they care about the thing more.
See, if it say something like there will be dire consequences for the losing god, just hint at it, and people will be like, what if the losing god dies? No, Jagex wouldn't do that this early. What about missing presumed death? Like, give us space to theorize here.
Well, the only thing about the World Wakes in comparison to that is that our choices don't change whether or not he dies.
That's
like
true.
no matter who we side with, he's dying anyway. So this could screw over most of our dialogue choices depending on who we pick.
That's true. That's very true.
And my argument for them not telling us that a god was going to die was that if they hadn't told us, then when a god dies here, then that same vigor that they use to defend their god right now will be translated into every one of the next world events.
Exactly. They will be terrified that more people are just going to drop.
Because not only has Jagex proven themselves to have the balls to kill a god, they killed a god again.
Yeah. Oh,
Well, I mean,
that's still the case though. Like, it's I don't know. It's a mindset thing and how people interact with the world event. And if you let people assume that that the god's not going to die, people aren't going to care about it as much. And they really want people to be caring about this thing.
Yeah. Hey, are any of you guys have your Runite tokens yet?
Negative.
I do.
Because I just got mine and I'm sitting here talking to the Armadillo Head War Mage and he is just spilling his guts right now. Nice. But, he was just talking about Guthix, which kind of had me squealing, but it's very short.
Inside. But I have absolutely no idea how we got onto the topic of World Event 2 while talking about Harbingers of Tuska.
Yeah, that was impressive.
But it's a good segue because that's what we're going to do next.
That was the most gorgeous segue we've ever had.
The most gorgeously accidental segue.
Yeah, I was about to ask, is this the segue? But you know what? No, we're just gonna go with it.
It works. I do want to say before we get back into World Event 2, there was a hidden update that came with World Event 2. We think. Maybe?
Yeah, we have very little information.
It was we discovered it, the Seercast discovered it, and by the Seercast I mean Walter, discovered it a couple days ago, and it's kind of creepy whispering that comes from Saradomin's podium, and apparently...
It's Saradomin's whisper!
Oh no.
Oh.
The collective groan.
I much prefer the murmur, I must admit.
That
was a little sexier.
Thorlah thinks it's a mass grave. I don't know. It's just this weird. If you want to hear it, go stand next to Saradomin's podium from the world event, from the Battle of Lumbridge, and turn all your music off and turn your sound effects and ambient sounds up to max, and just stand there for a little bit. It starts quiet and then it gets louder and louder after maybe 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, I first thought it was the mass grave too, but it doesn't show up in Zamorak's area.
Yeah,
it's just quiet there.
It's the ghost of Saradomin's past.
I do not know if this is from the gold token or not, but we just got confirmation on how all the AVNTs died.
No, that's from Runite Token.
Yeah, I know.
Really?
I'm sitting here with my Runite token, like...
Hey,
what?
explain yourself!
Zamorak, the power that Zamorak used, the massive explosion that wiped out Fern 3, also killed most of the AVNTs. The AVNTs thought Armadil died in that explosion. Which is why they hid, and they thought that he was gone. Because he fled thinking the AVNTs were gone. And the majority of them were killed specifically by Zamorak. Which means...
We knew though that... Wait, didn't we already know that blast kit was the thing that just destroyed the, or that decimated the AVNTs?
We knew it was what killed the wilderness, but we didn't know that it was what killed the majority of the AVNTs. We thought it just, it killed a lot of them, and then everybody's like, oh, look.
I think we did. Yeah. But I don't, we did not know that they thought that Armadil died.
That's cool. It would be many years before Armadil returned to Abined to discover those who had escaped the explosion, children of the deserters, the sick and the infirm. So basically, this guy is saying that some of the AVNTs actually escaped back to Abined during the God Wars.
I wonder how they did that, though.
Yeah,
that makes me really curious. Armadil, there was a portal that had been sitting open for a while.
Well, I mean, during the God Wars, we know that Armadil had to be continuously bringing in followers. All of the gods had to. Bandos had to. Armadil had to. Saradomin was recruiting, but still had to bring in followers like the Icene. And then, obviously, Zamorak was doing the same with the demons. So, I mean, I'm sure there were open portals just kind of hanging out all over the place.
Yeah, because what I was thinking is, from what we know just from the Rite of Passage podcast, just what they told us. That gave us a lot of information as well.
It sounded like, from a lore and history from a long time ago, I think it was for One Piercing Note, that it sounded like Saradomin during the God Wars had the High Command, Icene High Command, in New Domina, which is the Icene homeworld, while all the battles were going on in Gielinor.
Has anybody, cross-checked that? Walter,
please.
We'll get back to that, but let's get...
I'm just curious, whether anybody's cross-checked the stuff that we've just learned from the stuff from One Piercing Note.
One other thing that we might need to cross-check, actually, is that, cross-reference, is that, wasn't the event of Fern 3 being destroyed, wasn't that the thing that woke up Guthix?
I think so.
Yes, it was.
So then, the AVNC only had a really short time between that event and Guthix going slam bam with his sword.
Well, not quite. Keep in mind the deserters would have left.
They would have been left. They would have left for a while.
It's just like in the Civil War of the U.S. when
or any war for that matter.
Any war for God's sake would flee and hide somewhere. That's basically what was happening with these AVNTs. Like, I don't want to die. I'm going to go back to my home and hope.
Or even hiding somewhere on Gielinor. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, they could have heard about how the battle at the Temple of Lost Ancients.
Yeah.
They could have heard about how that went and then decided, hey, let's go home.
Yeah. It's absolutely plausible for the way that they are apparently approaching this with the AVNTs not knowing that Armadil was still alive and vice versa, since Armadil did not go back.
Yeah, that's exactly what I can understand it is he didn't go back to Abined. So all of them are sitting there like, well, he never came back, he must be dead.
Yeah.
Now what?
That's
really interesting. Interestingly, the one dialogue option you cannot unlock with him with Runite. Let me get to it again.
What happened during the God Wars?
Nope, right after that one. How is it you survived the AVNC's destruction? And he goes, not that one. Not that one either. 1 second.
He only trusted
what happened?
people close to him.
you say, yeah, what happened after the God Wars? And he goes, what happened in those dark days is a matter close to my heart, and something I can only share with those whom I trust.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, now that requires a total of
a lot.
Too many.
Just about 450k.
Yeah, too much.
Conveniently, the person with rank 1 in the Armadillo Gathering currently has 416k.
Impressive.
I know the person who's rank 2 with 411.5k. Which
it's
means...
like just rank bragging left and right.
Yep.
I'm so sorry, but it's like, this is useless information.
I know who the person is, which means that within a day or two, I could ask them about what that information is, and they could get
just spam the whatever's Alks and get it yourself.
Yep. Or spam Alks.
Yeah, I don't.
And this has been our breaking news segment of the Seercast.
Yeah, break it. Yeah.
This has been a breaking news segment.
Spending way too much time on the world.
Yeah. I mean, nothing terribly wrong with that, and nobody has any idea what Bandos has to say, right?
No, we're all Armadillians.
The only thing I ever talked about was like, the only thing I ever heard was him like, oh yeah, I killed this champion. We just fought each other. And then I was the last one left. I'm freaking awesome. That's basically all I heard from him.
I admit, I'm really curious.
So I was bored and I fought and then I killed someone and then I led the clan and then we all killed someone.
Yeah.
Okay, so the top Armadillo person is 416k. Top Armadillo person is 416k. Top Bandos person is 382k. So we could be getting both sets of, does anybody know somebody named Flare Fox?
No.
Yes.
Okay. Bug them about the Bandos stuff in a couple days.
All you people watching the Seercast, spam that guy.
Yeah. You're welcome, Flare Fox. We love you.
We love you.
We love you. Good night. Yeah. I mean,
enjoy your spam.
Wait. We'll only tell them to stop spamming you when you give us lore.
Exactly. Or turn your.
We're not actually going to do that, Lime.
Too late.
Do what?
But yeah, so thanks to far more dedicated people than
we can actually spam this person.
We have some good lore possibly available.
Yeah, perhaps. Which actually, this isn't exactly the order I had in mind, but I guess we'll just go with it because level 99 podcasting. Let's go. So we've now mentioned everything that I wanted to about Armadillo. And pretty much everything I wanted to about Bandos. One thing I do want to mention is that we still don't actually know how Bandos became a god.
He's too busy talking about killing things.
Yeah, he's too busy. It just sounds like, well, I killed this guy, and then I killed this guy, and then I killed this guy, but he didn't kill any gods that we know of.
I mean, it sounds like he doesn't think that becoming a god is too particularly important, because he thinks that killing people is more important.
Oh, have we mentioned in the podcast that Armadillo has a second secret Elder weapon?
Well, we knew that already. The second one he ascended through, and the first one, which was the Staff Armadillo, he found on Gillinor after he ascended.
I just wanted to make sure we brought that one up again because I totally forgot about it until right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, we haven't had a podcast since this started.
You know, maybe Bandos.
Go on, Siroki.
Maybe Bandos is the one who slept on a bed, like on a Tempur-Pedic of Elder artifacts. And
You're so lucky that I just
when Nomad ran away, he built a new Soul Wars on Earth, but it's called the Colosseum. And he brought it forward into the future and created the Tempur-Pedic beds out of the souls that.
Oh dear God!
What?
We're just gonna market mattresses now. Hey, everyone, buy them. You're sleeping on dead people.
Yes.
He ain't
I feel like
that.
this is just like random product
I
placement.
promise.
Have you ever watched those YouTube, like those big game companies where they're, they're talking about something and then just they awkwardly seeg into some, awkward product placement,
because it's a
and
sponsor.
Speaking of nice keyboards.
Yeah.
Thermal take here.
Yeah. I promise we're not drunk. I promise. At least I'm not.
Wait till New Year's.
I swear we're not being paid by them.
Although we would appreciate it if they gave us money.
No,
Yes.
Lime.
We have no complaints.
God damn it, Lime.
Did you hear that, Jack? Not you, Mod Jack, but Jack Daniels. Unless you're the same person.
Since they definitely listen to the Seercast.
Oh, God.
Yes. Definitely.
Help us.
Okay, so
Next
Kid,
week, Walter's
please.
going to be contacted by a representative of Jack
Oh
Daniels.
boy. Anyways, moving right along. Oh man. But yeah, so lulziness aside, Bandos, he killed a bunch of things, and one of them may or may not have been a god. We don't really know. Maybe that's something we can learn at the end. But stay tuned for more information. And by stay tuned, I mean listen to our next one, because it's pretty much guaranteed to be there.
Stay
just
tuned
listen
for
to all of them while
next
you're at it.
episode.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Last
Anyways,
time on
let's-
Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. But anyways, but yeah, there's also a couple things that I want to mention about the godless. Mostly how freaking clueless they are.
Yeah, they are.
They're so doomed.
Yeah, they are.
They're
so bad.
doomed.
Just like, they deserve a Dragon Kid Fireball right now.
Like, I made a suggestion about adding Nomad as one of the godless, and now, like, I really want it to happen, because they seem so disillusioned with what's going on.
Yeah, what was, okay,
They're
I'm
just-
trying to find the exact dialogue about Caramare and
So
the
one from
Stone of
Caramare, and
Jazz.
she's just like, well, they're both dangerous, so maybe you should just let one of them die.
Perhaps if we manage... Oh wait, no. A mere mortal
Is it the-
cannot destroy a god, but in our legions we are stronger. Our first step should be to aid the death of Bandos or Armadil. Perhaps, if we manage to kill a god, mortals will be rewarded with the Stone of Jas. Imagine, I could destroy the gods and free us all from their tyranny.
Note, she says
Oh, yeah.
I, not we.
Yeah, I know, I like that quite a bit. She's making me
And-
very, very suspicious.
Yeah, and I love
And
this
then,
line.
whoosh.
What would be your reaction if Slisky's been playing Caramere the whole time?
That would be bad.
Yeah.
What do you mean by playing
Probably
Caramere?
Stab.
And by playing Caramere, I mean he is Caramere. Would
Oh.
that,
I
like,
mean-
I would laugh so hard.
I would probably cry and then like applaud the writing for it and then cry some more.
Yeah.
Caramere
But-
is a total derp.
I love the
Yeah,
line.
I thought she was gonna be a lot more badass from the books, and she's not very clever.
Well, I love the line where it's like, look at what they're doing for a simple stone. Like, hi, dumbass.
Now, what I did find strange is why are the mortals so aware of Slisky's game?
Because
Billy,
we
everyone
told
knows
them?
everything.
I don't know.
On top
Like
of
that-
how are
That
they-
makes
how are
so
they
little
also-
sense to me.
I can see...
Well,
no, actually, I have no idea.
it actually
Because
kind
the
of
whole thing was a very private affair. It's not like the gods are gonna pop out and be like, hey world, more gods we kill, we get the Stone of Jas.
How do they even know about
And
this
then
stone?
everybody knows what the Stone of Jas is.
I think
what I
that-
really like.
Oh.
Go ahead.
What I really like is when
Yeah.
Siroki first, then Lime. Go.
Okay.
What I find interesting is how, like, they know so much about the Stone of Jazz, and yet not as much about the Dragonkin burninating everyone.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Another excellent point.
Somehow.
Yeah, Lime, go.
I mean, I imagine it that after the announcement, Slisky went on like this marketing campaign so that he knew everyone would know that it was a competition, so everyone would try and go for the Stone of Jas, because the more chaos, well, like, the more god killing he can cause, the better his position presumably gets.
Well, we
What's
know
so
that...
really interesting about that is technically, if he's walking around telling mortals that he just set up things so that the gods are going to kill themselves, they're going to like him quite a bit.
Yes, and also, it makes sense for him not to inform people about the dire consequences of the Stone of Jas, because if they did, that means that they wouldn't want it as much.
It also makes sense for him to go and tell the godless, to go and tell the leader of the godless, which is,
Who's
which
actually
one of the
going-
factions is Caramare.
Kara Derp.
Definitely know.
Kara Derp.
Let's get that.
Not to be confused with Sarah Derp. they're all derps at some level. But for him to go and tell the leader of the Godless, because who knows, maybe they'll get involved in some kind of a way that's more proactive as opposed to reactive, where they see the two gods going at it and they're like, huh, what's going on? Instead of, that's if they weren't told, but if they were told, maybe they'll be headed in some direction. I don't know.
I do like that there does seem to be a visible godless effort in this one, in that, there are ambushes coming around from the godless constantly, and they're making an impact, as opposed to last time where Karamir stood dramatically on a rock and did nothing.
Yeah.
I am Karamir, watch me watch you.
Watch me watch you.
That should be the tagline for the two gods right now. Armadil, watch me watch you. Bandos, watch me watch you. Because that's all they're doing.
To the staring contest.
Yes.
Well, I mean, they have nothing else to do while they charge up their lasers.
Yeah, really. Well, Armadil could be swooping around, was I the only one who really wanted to see, Armadil swoop down from the heavens and scoop up a caravan and just rip it to shreds and
I can see that being risky.
Oh, but I want to
Because
see
what if he runs in, what if they're both doing that and they end up running into each other? That would be bad.
That would be awesome. Clash over Falador? Now what I find funny is, why the hell did they choose Falador?
Because they want to destroy Falador.
What was the reasoning behind Falador?
Because they want to kill Saraderp? I don't know.
Falador is such a Saradominist city that it seems so strange that they selected...
Well, I mean, to be fair, you have the Goblin Village, and that's where Bandos is setting up his tower, and you have the Citadel portal, which is where Armadil's setting up at his tower, and it just happens to be that there's Falador in between, I guess.
That's true.
That's the way I see it.
I also think that if things do blow up, it's a very lovely excuse for them to finally do the Falador rework they've been talking about for a year and a half.
Perhaps.
Lime,
go.
I'd also like to say that maybe they want Misthalin and Asgarnia to be sort of like this control area for the gods, since that's where the free-to players can help fight.
Yeah.
Was it just me, or didn't they say that World Event 3 would be members only?
Don't know. No idea.
Close enough.
I'm trying to remember, simply because, it's two very member gods.
Yeah.
Obscure member gods.
Well,
so I'm wondering if we're gonna
Brassica isn't members. I would consider, first of all, I don't even hardly consider Brassica a god. But Brassica derived,
April Fools,
created for the April Fool's Day thing a few years ago.
I would like to remind you though that only members could meet Brassica.
Oh, that may be
because she was an Ooglog.
Because it was an Ooglog.
Yep.
Also, mentions the Brassica actually date before that. There was this cabbage dungeon.
The cabbage armor, the cabbage dungeon, and you could fight the deadly Brassica Prime, the Lord of the Cabbage. They called him then. He was level 13.
Level 11. He still
11.
is.
Yeah, he still is.
Was this before we were the World Guardian? Because I don't know how we would have done it otherwise.
Oh gosh, yeah. This was 2005. This was
This was way before I started playing again.
Anyways, let's not go into World Event 3 yet.
Yeah.
I'd actually like to dig into the meat of the World Event, the mechanics, and also talk about how Saradomin ripped the wings off of someone.
We'll talk about Saradomin ripping the wings off right now, because there isn't much to say other than, wow, he's an asshole.
He did.
Garlandia is one of the
Icene
is a godless Icene, and is godless because she had her wings ripped off by Saradomin, and it had rather dire consequences. And yeah.
Now, what's interesting about this is it revealed a lot about Saradomin's recruitment tactics, and that he existed on the Icenic plane with them, and was basically you know what? If you aren't going to serve me, you sign up for one of my two spots. One of my two, types of warriors. And if you don't, I will punish you.
Yep.
I mean, there's stuff like that going on not like to that level of brutality, but it happens in the real world.
Oh yeah.
Countries had conscriptions. I am bound by one personally. So, it's not like that uncommon. The barbaric part is when he ripped the Ician's wings off and left her to freeze to death.
Yeah, I had to sign up for selective service myself.
It actually makes him seem more like an Ivan the Terrible type person.
Now, what I would like to remind you guys though is we're getting the story from the one who claims he ripped her wings off.
That is true.
For all we know, she could be sitting there trying to just totally down Saradomin because he won the last world event.
I'm fine with this.
So who knows?
I mean, I'm going to speak for Jacertes here because now he's back, but
oh dear,
not back.
Yeah,
he says that there's a clear distinction between past Saradomin, who was a bit of a jerk, and a lot of a jerk.
A bit?
Hey Lime, can you stop by so I can rip your arms off? and then we could talk about how that was a bit mean of me.
A bit.
And present Saradomin, who's a lot more mature and appears to be a lot more mature and appears to regret his past decisions and is at least trying to work over his issues.
So, shall we talk about his attitude and missing presumed death?
We'll talk about that later. We do need to get on into the mechanics.
Yep. Who wants to do mechanics?
Lime, go.
Alright, so this is a lot of caravan content. The gods are sending out a lot of caravans to certain locations across Asgarnia and Misthalin to find out, to recover a lot of divine energy so that they can shoot each other. And along the way, the players will have to build these sites that can be any amount, like a spider hole, which can help defend the site, the caravans. Sorry, I'm rambling.
Okay. Just trying to keep you on track.
Sites, combat totems, and also players can use PvP against each other
in specific zones, of course.
In specific zones, yeah.
And only against people of the enemy faction.
Yes.
So it's not like, I'm an Armadillion, you're an Armadillion, and I can just walk up and beat the snot out of you.
Well, you probably could, but you couldn't do it in this world event.
Exactly.
Now, what I find interesting is how it went down in the player minds. And a bunch of worlds are starting to become Armadillion worlds, Bandosian worlds, because all of the worlds act independently, so World 100 would be very different from World 66.
Yeah, 66 is a Bandos stronghold.
Yeah.
100 tends to be kind of split, but mostly Armadillo.
Yeah, 100 will occasionally be taken over a little bit, but then will be beaten back very rapidly, I've noticed.
I really want to point out how it's kind of cool that the smaller faction, clearly the smaller faction, Bandos, still is able to put up a decent fight against Armadillo, because they've resorted to guerrilla tactics and planning and organization to take down the less organized, organized faction.
Earlier today there was a group of about 10 level 200 Bandosians in really good gear wandering about, and it was very, very difficult to take them down constantly.
And
we did succeed.
They can see certain sites.
Yeah, exactly. They can just camp there. 40 of you come in.
But you have to get a whole bunch of people together to be able to do it.
But once you have those people together, it is very, very difficult to fight them back. And it is absolutely crucial that you have all corners of the combat triangle too, because if you have just mages, then you're gonna get shot to death by rangers.
Because LoL combat triangle.
Anyways, I'd also like to point out some of the attitudes, because it happens.
No, Lime, no.
Go, Lime, go.
Okay. So, this happens on both sides, but I've noticed it more on Bandos' side, so don't call me biased, but I'm not really a fan of Bandos.
You're biased.
Right now. Yes, I am biased.
Let's just get that out of the way. I think we all are.
To remind you that this was kind of a similar situation that was going on during the Saradomin and Zamorak one, but just players weren't allowed to beat each other up, so it wasn't really.
Yeah, no.
I never noticed
it's
it.
It's not that. It's that sometimes when a player is about to die, he just teleports away. I mean, what the hell?
Like, I don't understand that. I think people are doing that because they already have a large chunk of the skulls and they don't want to lose them.
I mean, at least die with honor.
I just take it and die. Like,
I admit, like, sometimes...
I recently turned on PvP, I killed a couple people, and then I just got wrecked. And, like, I am glad to get wrecked. Like, let's go.
I mean, it's fun. I mean, occasionally, like, you know, if I'm just sitting there, you know, building and I don't really want to fight, but I want my PvP on, if somebody attacks me, I'm gonna just run out into the safe zone until they leave, but...
Well, I mean, like...
Otherwise, I will jump on someone, and I will beat them, and I will fight them until one of us dies, because that's just fun.
It's just so annoying. And then there's, like, the attitudes towards it. Like, there's...
Well, what I like is it's showing off very clearly the good and the bad of the EOC PvP system. Because it's a safe environment to test it in.
Yeah, it is... I'm sure Mod Pi is just having a ball with this.
I bet there's just data being plopped on his desk every 2 hours, and his whole desk is just completely overflowed with information.
I just want
to over Christmas.
I want to commend the Bandosian leaders for somehow managing to organize a group of some of the most obnoxious, arrogant, and ignorant players I've ever seen.
Keyword ignorant.
And I would really like to commend Lime for generalizing an entire group of people.
Okay, well actually, just now, this one guy on Bandos with a group of Ardo people were right here at this node, turned on PvP, and he just teleported before he died.
Yeah.
So...
As we were saying.
Anyway.
I couldn't resist teasing Lime about that, like, get the whole biggest ignorant group of people, blah blah blah.
Let's be fair. By and large, it does seem like Bandos is by far the more ignorant bunch of people.
I am racist against Bandosians, and I will admit it. I have been traumatized by Toa and Balance, and I don't.
We're not going to get into that here, Lime.
We're not going to go into that.
Exactly.
Oh, and hi, ERNJ.
I do think it's funny, like, if they're with... I just remember one, I think it was like in Bandos or Armadillo actually that doesn't narrow it down whatsoever, but it was like a group of Bandosians with a PvP on. They weren't helping, it was a Bandos caravan, because they weren't helping the caravan at all. They were just letting us murder it, but they wanted to murder everyone else that was trying to kill it. No worries about their own caravan at all. Just, okay.
That's kind of the way I've noticed a lot of Bandosians playing it, like they know they cannot successfully defend their caravan. So instead, their goal is to just get as many heroic skulls as they possibly can before going down to Blaze of Glory. It's more fun that way, you know? Like,
whatever works,
if you were losing, just like suicide run it, why not? Show off how long you can survive with your fancy gear and go.
And now, alright, which do you want first? The Golem rant or the Legend of the Very Lost Caravan?
Let's go with the Golem rant first. So that I can put Lime Rage picture in.
Yeah. And when you're done, when you're done with the play mechanics of it, shall I discuss like the reward mechanics and the voting system and such?
Sure.
Yeah, briefly.
Alrighty.
Go on.
Alright, so golems. I am a fan of golems, but it seems like these Armadillians and Bandosians don't know how to build one. Like, what they do, they take random skeletons out the battlefield, they just shove them into like this metal shell, and then they toss a bunch of gears inside and hope it works. And then they give it to their god to like bless and animate. I mean, what? That doesn't even work.
Take the bones of our followers and do stuff to them.
That just sounds like the shoddiest piece of machinery I've ever heard of.
So that's what they're doing with their heroic skulls?
Yeah, they're flesh golems.
Yeah. I like it though. I think they're very creepy and they're very cool.
Zambies.
Traditional. Rather than traditional robot golems.
Yeah. I mean, who needs robot golems anymore? We have flesh golems.
They put the souls and all the bones in the golems, and then they put them in the mattresses later when they have a surplus.
Oh God! Why did I not see that coming?
I don't know.
I would just like to say that the ogre that is making the Bandosian golems is actually very smart for an ogre. He talks in complete sentences.
To him and he impressed me.
He talks in complete sentences. I love how that's how we consider him smart.
Yeah.
With pronouns and everything.
Mm-hmm.
He no talk like this.
Oh, no.
He speaks like a very educated.
Wait, who? Bandos?
Well, Bandos is very intelligent.
Bandos is a freaking genius.
Well, he's an ass, but yes.
Alright.
Well, that doesn't mean he's not a genius.
When Walter told me to go upstairs into like the Bandos tower before I went to Armadillo so I can see what's up there. So I go up there, I see the diviner, I say, oh, he looks kinda cool. I turn around, I see the org, and I'm like, Jeebus. And, because it's an org. And then I turn around all the way around, I see Bandos, and I'm like, holy shit.
Implying that you couldn't see this all on one screen normally.
I feel so sorry for Lime's tiny screen.
I know, right?
It's almost as big as his tolerance for Bandosians.
Or certain select other people that we will not mention.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Such Lime Rage.
And this concludes this episode of Lime Rage.
Yay!
Come back
Lime,
next
tell
week
us
to
about
see
how...
Lime rage about the Christmas event and how he didn't get a Black Santa hat.
Anyways, I believe we have another Lime story.
Okay.
Story time with Story Lime.
Yep.
About the legend of the caravan that got really, really lost.
Yes, alright, so Walter and I, we were following this Bandosian caravan through Draenor, and it decides to stop in Draenor, but it doesn't. It doesn't let down its guard, and it makes it look like it's still wandering around, and one of them continues to wander around while the other stays put. First ogre disappears. Second ogre just sort of stands there. We're all looking at it and we're thinking, what the fuck? And then
rage quit.
And then that one disappears. We're all like, what?
What?
We look at the maps, we find out that the caravan somehow made it to Port Sarum. So we go over there. The caravan turns around, goes back to Draenor, because apparently it liked the air in Draenor. and then it got to Draenor, and then it thought, this is shit. Turns around, goes back to Port Sarum, stops, and we finally kill it. It was the lousy-est.
Let's just make it all
These
the more
Bandosian caravans are so glitched.
They're so cute.
They also clip through everything.
Yeah,
they do.
Walter and I saw a Bandosian caravan walk on water.
I saw one fly magically across a river, yeah. Like, it didn't even walk on the water, it went near it, and then it froze, and they just all appeared on the other side.
Bandos can't even physics.
Yeah.
Bandos, you even physics?
Wait, what type of water did it go over? Not like the river one, but the one Lime and Walter saw.
River. It literally.
Did they go over the river Lum near the Champions Guild?
Yep.
That's
it literally walked over river.
We just didn't get the walking animation.
I saw it in the middle of the river, and I was like, hang on a moment.
What? Does either of you have screenshots of that? Because I would like
not. I actually crashed 3 seconds later. because it tried to load up the divination bit. It was like, you wanna try and kill these bodyguards. That's adorable. Gosh.
Bandos' new secret weapon. Crash armadillions.
Well, I mean, I froze for 15-20 seconds when I teleported into a caravan earlier today. By the time I unfroze, everything was done. I was like, this is stupid.
So annoying.
Well, I was just about to say, with the caravan that went on water, I thought you meant it went onto the ocean, and it was trying to divine on Karanja or something where no one would find it.
So funny. It shows up Taibo One-Eye Village, seeking divine energy.
Buying
seeking divine
energy.
Buying energy. Buying ERNJ.
Buying ERNJ.
ERNJ,
please.
Yes.
Anyways, but yeah.
I show up with Crandor and just start talking to Elvard, yo, dog, you got any energy?
Give us all your energy!
Since that's how they would talk, yo dog.
They make their way.
Yo dog,
they make their way all the way to the Eastern Lands, and then we're on
event,
they finally come back.
No, we're doing a ports, and one of them lands, and then just the caravan comes off of our ship and goes at our portal.
Oh my god.
We're all like, what?
Okay, so remember that Golden Gnome joke video of Gerhard Quest?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Need to make Caravan Quest.
Oh my god.
Questionable? An idea? If someone makes it, it's just a caravan no clipping everywhere.
Don't forget the 8-bit music.
Exactly.
So moving on back to the tactical side of things, there's a lot you can do at your base as well. I mean, just like last time, there's the votes, kind of like the Duca ratio, but this time, it's not like you have money in your coffers. You just want to keep your morale as high as possible. And as usual, you pick your vote, you claim your XP, and you can change your vote at any time, but you don't get more XP. Secondly, you can vote escalation/micro change, which is basically small changes to your caravans and to your bodyguards with the caravans.
Okay.
So both teams currently have their diviners collecting by 10% faster.
Yep.
Finally, you can vote at the strategy board, which basically it picks the distance, so how far away your people are going to turn up, what your defense is going to be, how your divination, how quickly your guys can find stuff when divining, and how risky your convoys will be. So all of that is based on, the total votes poured in by the community. Also, you can head up the stairs and you can vote on different parts for your golem. I've yet to manage to actually do that because our golem seems to be always out. But
me neither. I've never been able to do it, which is unfortunate because.
But apparently you can. Reward-wise,
I'm the golem aficionado.
Yeah. I would not argue with that.
Yep. Reward-wise, you can get the War Priest of Armadillo/Bandos set. Currently you can only get the Boots of Gauntlets. Wearing a number of pieces of it will occasionally reduce the cooldowns of your abilities that are 30 seconds or above.
And that's actually a really good ability.
It is.
It sounds really, really useful.
Yep. Especially with the new abilities. But then, there's the new emotes and titles. There's Armadillo and Bandos' Glory 1. They both are kind of lame. And then there's the Scout and the Grunt titles. They all require the silver token. You can buy XP lamps, per usual, small third huge. And there are 3 new abilities. This is actually probably the most exciting thing in my opinion.
Yeah, I like the abilities a lot. They're very...
Yeah, well, the one that's currently available is a basic with a 30-second cooldown hit point or constitution ability called Sacrifice. Basically what it does is it deals 100% damage to your opponent, ignoring all protection prayers. It then heals you for 25% of the damage you dealt, or 100% if your target dies. I have been using this thing like crazy at the Monastery Ascension. It's amazing. Basically, just get your dude low, hit it, and it negates all the damage they just dealt to you. It's so useful in Slayer, PvM, if you can guarantee you'll land the last hit with it. And it deals pretty hefty damage, especially...
Yeah.
I mean, it's 100% of your weapon damage, and prayers don't affect it. Let's see, next week, or not next week, next tick, we'll be able to get the legs and the body, or I suppose greaves and cuirass of the War Priest set. The Devotion ability, which requires a Runite token. It's a threshold defense ability, and it makes your protection prayers 100% effective for 20 seconds. If you kill an opponent during that time, it completely refreshes the duration. So if you can guarantee that you're killing an enemy every 20 seconds, your protection prayers will be 100% effective. So that's going to be... Go ahead.
Until you run out of prayer, in which you need...
I would say your prayers are not effective when they're not up.
Yeah. I think that's going to be pretty crazy though. That really, I like this one a lot because it's really strategic. And then
it's
during
great
the
for
third tick,
the place that I see that being really useful is some of the higher level Slayer critters and Dagonoths.
Yes,
Waterbirth
that's
Dungeon.
A good point. You just plop your cannon down in the middle, pop up that range prayer, and go crazy.
You get spammed with damage. And, yeah.
And then, finally on the third tick, we get a ultimate Constitution ability called Transfigure that requires.
Yeah, I like this one. It seems really.
This one
really
is beautiful
and interesting.
It's so interesting. So you stun yourself for 6 seconds. When the stun ends, you heal 250% of any damage you took during the stun, and become immune to stuns for the next 15 seconds. So basically, if you know you can survive for 6 seconds against whatever opponent you're fighting, you can get this insane heal. I almost feel like all three of these abilities were designed for the Monastery of Ascension at this point. Because if you're fighting the Rorarai, if you just hit 20 of them and then just pop this, you'll sit in the middle, go really low, and then just full health.
I think they're designed for PvP.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, they seem really designed for PvP.
I'm pretty sure they're designed for PvP, and it's when they rebalance it such that the the huge damage spam that's the problem with PvP right now.
Yeah.
Transfigure. I'm worried about Transfigure being actually broken, but
yes.
But we'll have to see what they do. What Pi ends up doing for that.
I'd also like to point out that it doesn't seem like they're doing anything to stop what we've seen in the World event is that people start getting stun locked. You get stunned. And
there are some glitches involved with that, though, that just are things that have been around since the EOC that I assume Mod Pi is aware of and is trying to deal with, because stuns are just a massive problem right now. They do not work.
Yeah, I purposely do not use Asphyxiate in PvP because it is actually broken.
Very much so.
I know that there's been a lot of discussion in the clan chat about stuns and people using them versus not using them, and the kind of moral fighting or whatever you want to call it between using stuns and not, especially Asphyxiate.
Yeah.
I'll use Impact. Yeah. Because you can freedom out of it, but Asphyxiate, no.
Yeah. I think the issue was stuns originally were designed to be a slight augment, with the old bind abilities and such. And then they went a little too reliant on them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Back to rewards. Let's see, in rank 1, the titles are Scout or Grunt. At tier 2, the titles are Wingman or Soldier, and at tier 3, the titles are Wing Leader or Veteran. I think the Bandos ones are really weird because they don't sound Bandosian, aside from Grunt.
They seem militaristic.
Yeah, they seem Veteran is just a really strange name to hand out via a world event rather than tying it into having a veteran cape.
It kinda reminds me of the fact that Bandos is going to die, so it's they're a veteran.
Yeah.
So it seems kinda oddly suited, but I shouldn't be saying that Bandos is going to die because we don't know what the new strategies will bring, or if the Bandosians can pull it back with their weird tactics.
Yeah. There are also 2 titles, very similar to as with the ones in the Battle of Lumbridge, the Vanguard of Armadil or the War Master of Bandos, that can be basically just randomly handed out for doing certain things within the world event, such as defeating 20 players, building a structure, destroying a caravan, or destroying an enemy structure. But it's completely random. Also, they're doing the same override thing that they did in the Battle of Lumbridge, where doing most of the things in the event can occasionally drop you a component.
Those
and then
sacred metal fragments from Battle of Lumbridge do not work in World of Event 2.
They do not stack in your bank or your inventory and simply do not work. You only need 1,000 per override this time around, though, and they're not hugely rare. Well, compared to the 2,000 last time, it's better.
No, it was only 1,000 last time.
Was it?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was 2,000.
It was 1,000. And there's only 6 total last time, so you need more.
Yeah, there's 4 this time.
It's debatably more difficult to get. Walter can can say for sure.
Yeah.
Cause he's got, 4,000 of them by now?
Especially at the end of the Battle of Lumbridge, though, they basically just handed you from a Divine Tier Rock.
That was silly.
I'm assuming they're gonna be doing something vaguely similar with this event, and that
there
will be some way to get them very quickly near the end.
It was, yeah, probably. And if you miss getting the War Priest armor, or the abilities, if you're not playing the game right now, if you're free to play, if you're whatever, even though it shouldn't really be anybody that's free to play at this point because of bonds, but...
Well, even so, free to players still have access to this armor, and the abilities.
Yeah, but it's really difficult for them to get renown. That's the problem.
Yeah, they only get 14k a day.
And they can't build their own,
That's correct.
So they have to have somebody from play to play come and build it for them to get their renown.
I'm still pretty sure that's a glitch.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but anyways, what I was saying is that if you miss getting the armors and the abilities, they will be dropped in God War's dungeon. The War Priest armor is it's more commonly found if you already have one side. So if you're an Armadillian and don't want to give up the Armadil stuff, or you can't stand helping Bandos because of whatever reason, if you get the Armadil parts, it's easier to find the Bandos stuff after the event, as opposed to if you are just screw the event, I am doing something else, then it'll be difficult. Basically, and the abilities are super rare drops from Grar and Kree.
Yeah. You can't just sit there and farm the minions, you have to kill the bosses. Which I like, I really like that.
Yeah, I do too. For those abilities, yes.
Again, an extra ability that you can still only get from them.
I can kind of feel bad for people that start after or on break right now or something like that, but you can't cater to them.
At the same time, almost tying it back to our discussion about monster drops earlier, I wonder why they haven't taken the advantage of adding small, little basic abilities as rewards from boss drops or skilling.
I can't comment on that. There are enough basics.
Yeah. I mean, especially from big bosses, you could drop some cool ultimates from that.
That's true.
But instead they're so focused on the gear half of things, they forget we need things to use our gear with.
Yeah. But then if that's the case, then the way that it's not just you can go and buy these abilities unless you could.
Yeah.
If they're untradeable, then you would have to go and farm it yourself, and for some people that's difficult. If they're tradable, then there's all sorts of things, and I'm wondering. I do wonder if they've thought of that, and if they haven't, some JMod who's watching this, of which we know at least one does, go tell somebody to think about even tradable ultimates, or tradable thresholds, or tradable,
and if not that,
some kind of ability.
Dungeoneering rewards.
Or that.
Some love. This was mentioned at RuneFest, in fact, in that, somebody was like, hey, you should spruce up some dungeoneering rewards. That was one of the whole, Dragon's Den things. Why don't you throw some new abilities on there? You don't need new weapons, throw some new abilities for us to play with on there.
Yep. In B4 primal gear outside of Daemonheim.
Yes, that's alright.
No, please. But yeah. I think that pretty much covers everything from the World event. Is there anything else that anybody wants to mention?
Nope, can't think of anything.
Pretty sure that covered everything.
Yeah. The meat and potatoes of it.
Yeah, there's also apparently a Christmas event coming up. We covered pretty much what we know about it already in the last podcast, because they didn't really cover a whole lot in the BTS. They did say that, they have recently said that the Black Santa hats, which was the tradable rare, is only available through doing stuff in-game. It's not any kind of squeal cabbage.
Extra spin for the win.
Yeah, it's not one of those kind of things. You do stuff in game to get Christmas crackers, and you pull them to hopefully get that. So I think that makes all of us a lot happier with the way that it's being presented.
Yeah, basically, as soon as the first thing I saw was not, you may occasionally find black, the Christmas crackers and the squeal of fortune, I inwardly cheered.
Yeah. No!
No.
Inwardly!
We said inwardly, Lime.
It's the same thing for me.
But yeah, I think we all, yeah. There's also a new pet, because what else would you expect from an event created by Mod Anna?
Death.
I mean,
really.
I
I expect some really interesting puzzles. Because...
You know what I expect from this Christmas event?
What?
Penguins.
There better be penguins.
Yeah.
And if Mod Anna's listening, I'm sorry I keep saying she's killing off everybody.
It's
okay. Okay.
I have a theory.
That's Thorlah, by the way.
Next project.
That's not good.
I have a theory, guys. I think Mod Anna's next project is a new desert quest.
Ooh.
Why?
Why?
Because she died of haircut like she's Amascut. That's my only.
That is
interesting.
Rather far-fetched.
That's the point.
Yeah,
this is a part
that is
not
rather
true,
far-fetched.
not listen to it. Because we all know Rowley has his own plans.
Yeah.
And
we know that she wants Myreek, so.
Yeah, we can kill Clarin though. We can.
No!
All hell King Itchy.
What's gonna happen if
your dog can't help you now?
He can't
and then everybody bows down and worships Amascut. It works.
No!
But then all of our souls get devoured.
King
We all are dead.
I get peckish, okay?
What?
No.
What?
I can't argue that.
No, please.
Stop it.
Stop.
Stop it, Emma. Stop.
Anyways, before we actually go insane, I think we should wrap it up here.
Before?
We can already have, like, even before this podcast, so.
Some of the banter beforehand was just like, what? I actually tried starting recording like 3 times, and I got interrupted accidentally every time.
I'm so sorry.
God damn it, Kitten. But anyways.
Aliens.
Yes, aliens. But yeah, so, because of the holidays, I'm pretty sure that most of us will be gone, at least for some point in time around Christmas and thereafter. I know that I am gone immediately after Christmas until after the New Year's, so this will absolutely be the last one before the holidays for us, and for everybody here at the Seercast. I do wish everyone a happy holidays and a happy New Year.
Merry Xmas.
Mm-hmm. But except for Lime. Lime doesn't get that.
That's true.
No happiness for Lime.
Nope.
None at all.
But yeah, because everybody's going to be gone, or because some of us are going to be gone, our next one will probably be the BTS, the January BTS, and that will probably come a few days late. So, if it's not out on the 2nd, I'm sorry. Not like we're super on time normally anyway.
We've been discussing the possibility of doing like a, whoever's around mini New Year's podcast, but it's probably not.
I thought you were gonna mention the drunk idea.
No, you
now
just did that.
Up.
No, I'm sorry again.
Oh right, it's going to be a January 4th podcast.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Because Rodham.
Yeah,
Rodham too. Rodham 4.
Confirmed.
Gut feeling.
Oh my god, what would be, let's see, January 4th, what is January 4th on this year? It's on a Saturday. Dang it. I was gonna say, like, what would be the odds of them releasing Fate of the Gods, but...
That'd be beautiful.
0, actually.
Yeah. that quest is not done yet. The only thing that's even close is Rite of Passage that we know of.
We should probably end this before we get off topic about the outro. Yeah. And so happy holidays to everybody, happy new year, and from all of us at the Seercast, we will see you next time.
Bye.
Brilliant.
Goodbye.